Welcome to Joe's Horror Vlog. I'm Executioner Joe, and today I have a special guest, Lukey Solo.
Special? I take offense to that.
Well, the good kind.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes up for it. My name's Lukey Solo. I've got a new channel that I've just made called it's so new I forgot what it's called. Class Clown Productions. I'm sure we'll have a link for it somewhere down there. But for the most part, I do music reviews, comic book reviews and discussions, sci-fi, horror, you name it. If it's nerdy, I generally cover it. So that's me.
Okay. And today we're going to be talking about the Misfits EP Friday the 13th that came out. Mm-hmm. Got the vinyl for it right there.
Oh yeah, very nice.
What I drew it to me first was just the design of the front.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I have a T-shirt of it, and then what kind of surprised me was the back of it being Freddy Krueger 2. Yeah. There's 4 songs on it: Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Laser Eye, and Mad Monster Party. Which are those films or?
I believe don't quote me on this. But Mad Monster Party, I believe, is a children's film, a claymation one from maybe the early 80s. And if I'm thinking of the right movie, it's got Boris Karloff reprising his role as Frankenstein's monster. I believe, I could be thinking of a completely different movie. But Laser Eye sounds like a B horror movie. So
yeah, a lot of things back then. So
yeah.
Okay, so. What we both listened to it. What were your thoughts on it?
The music itself. Now, both Joe and I are fairly big Misfits fans, but I've been a fan for the last almost 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So and I've followed these guys for pretty much all their career, and unlike a lot of people, I actually respect most of the. Pretty much all the career, really. With that said, I know there's a lot of really polarizing thoughts on Jerry Only's voice.
Which is the person singing in this one right here.
Exactly, yep. And so, with the first album he sang on, Project 1950, I actually love that album. That's one of the ones that most fans, boo, I hate it, Jerry sucks. But I personally like it a lot. But The Devil's Rain, however, the album after that, I like some of the songs on it, but generally I'm not that big of a fan. So going into this one, and they released 2 other EPs, smaller ones though. Yeah. Descending Angel, which was actually a song from the Michael Graves era that for some reason Jerry Only has decided, let's redo it. And then they had Vampire Girl and Zombie Girl, which was a 2-side. I don't know if it was a 2-side single or a 2-side single. I'm not too sure exactly what the story was on that. But anyways, I think it's safe to say that I was very, very leery going into this album or this EP. Thought it could really go either way, but for the most part, I personally liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it. What's what I'm looking for? The vocals on it, again, Jerry Only, his style of singing, compared to Michael Graves and Glenn Danzig, which are the 2 previous singers, I'd say still isn't as good, but it definitely works here. It's definitely serviceable, and not only that, but in my opinion, it really does harken back to the Glenn Danzig days. I don't know if it's because of the songs and the lyrics, but it really does, in my eyes, feel like the closest thing to the original. Well, I can't say original, the classic lineup of the Misfits with Danzig, Jerry, and his brother Doyle. So
yeah. Like what you said and stuff. I was really interested when they start going off of original horror films and stuff like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. like I'm also a big fan of like the Alice Cooper. He's back. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
when like musicians get inspiration from this.
And Dream Warrior by Dawkins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
Great
do
stuff.
have the vinyl for that, just not here.
Yeah.
So I'll let you do the honors. Let's open
yeah.
up and show it off.
And first off, before we get into this, I don't know about Joe, but I absolutely love the design for not only the cover and the back cover, but also the stuff inside of here.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things too. Devil's Reign. What I just mentioned, not their strongest album, but the artwork for it, the design for the album and jacket and everything else was fantastic. That's one thing that you cannot ever use against these guys, is that their design for their albums and EPs or whatever format they're using is always great in my opinion.
Yeah.
But anyways, so digging into this. All right, you already saw front and the back.
Yep.
In the sleeve, I thought was really cool. Is this what you got the shirt of?
Oh yeah, right.
This
here.
This design right here. Of course. The Fiend skull, but kind of a Jason Voorhees redo of it with the two machetes. Misfits Friday the 13th. Really great. But is this just me, or does this kind of remind you of almost like a B horror movie?
Oh yeah,
cover,
definitely.
From back in the early 70s, not late 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Especially how it's kind of like painted on there. And then the other side has Jerry Only, Eric Chupacabra Arce, the drummer. I guess I should clarify, Jerry Only, semi-original bass player. He didn't play on their very first demos, but he's been in the band for the last almost 40 years now.
Yeah.
And Jerry Only's son, Jerry Other, which I had mentioned to Joe before. I've actually seen them live with Jerry Other, but when I saw them, this was before they had even announced that their previous guitarist, Des Cadena, had left. And so I don't know if it was the first show with him or one of the first shows with Jerry Other, but when I saw him, I really didn't think he had any stage presence at all whatsoever. And I didn't really like the guitar tone he was using. However, on this picture right here, I think he does look really cool. Does look like he's at least trying to have some kind of stage presence, as his hands are all Jim Morrison-esque, I guess. And so I'm hoping that since I've seen him, he's kind of filled those shoes better.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Des Cadena I don't know, he had some kind of terminal illness, whether it was some kind of cancer or something. So he kind of had to last minute just drop out. So I'm thinking he might have been unprepared.
Yeah.
As far as the stage show, but it looks great on here, as well as the other band members. It's got the lyrics scrolling down there. Again, in my opinion, really good lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not quite as good as the Danzig era or Michael Graves era, but very close, and very reminiscent again of the Danzig era, in my opinion. So now that you see that, I'm not sure, Joe. This is Joe's record. First off, beautiful.
Yeah, I love the design, color in it.
Black and white. Red. I'm thinking that's supposed to be blood splatter, is what it's supposed to look like. Maybe it's just me, but now they had a couple different variants of this. Am I correct?
Yeah, there was a couple of them. I'm not really sure what the other ones look like though.
I thought there was, if I'm not mistaken, I think there might have been a red and green one that was supposed to be kind of like Freddy Krueger's sweater.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, so don't be flooding eBay. Oh, Luke Solo said. No, I don't know if it exists.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd heard something about it. But yeah, again, the album cover back, beautiful. Sleeve and other side of the sleeve.
Yeah.
Again, beautiful, and even more beautiful yet, the record itself. and just about as beautiful, the music.
Yeah.
Within the record.
But we did find one
Yeah,
flaw
yep,
in
yep.
this album, this cover stuff
Yeah.
on it,
Yeah.
design.
Yeah. They labeled the sides wrong. So side 1 is actually side 2, even though the label.
Like, that's something if you have bought this or whatever, put in the comments if yours plays like mine.
Yeah, because we're not sure if this is a common thing. Joe might have struck gold here.
Yeah, $1 million right here.
Yep, the $1 million record. But yeah, again, just beautiful. I'm not too sure how well you can see this. Probably not at all. But this is. I think this is kind of wasteful in my opinion. But only this much of this particular record is actually music. The rest right here is just blank. It says, again, side 1, but it's actually side 2. Now this one, side 2, a little bit better. Where is it at? This much right here is music, and then this much is blank. We were kind of discussing off camera that we thought maybe this was, because they all were kind of cut in one side or molded.
Yeah.
One side's the vinyl itself. And so they just kind of like, let's just go with it because it might be a lot more to make it a custom size. But either way, and I don't know. I think with the size, it does look cooler. But yeah.
Yeah, and then a future thing that we're going to actually be doing too is we're going to be going to Riot Fest.
Denver.
Yep, Denver one
Denver,
specific. Yep. So we're going to be seeing the original lineup.
Classic one.
Yeah, classic.
but they credit themselves as the original Misfits.
Yeah, so there's some debate in there.
Yeah,
Don't, like, go crazy.
Only crazy fans like me will debate this stuff with you.
Yeah. Jump me in the off camera.
Yeah. This is gonna be Joe's last video.
Yeah, sorry. I guess he's the executioner now.
Yeah, exactly.
So the classic lineup of 33 years since they it 31, 33, something
about
like that.
About 33 and a half years since their last performance with, I guess you could say the classic lineup. We don't know who the drummer is going to be, but at least with Danzig, Jerry Only, and Doyle, this is going to be the first time in, I believe, 33 and a half years. Yeah. Last performance together was in 81, I believe. So I do the math, put it in the comment section.
Yep.
I failed algebra 3 times, so I'm not the best guy to ask for that. But now, kind of going back here a little bit, just for a moment. I one thing that I failed to mention also about this was it is an EP, so this is completely justifiable, and this is a Misfits EP. More specifically, this is a punk EP, and because it is a punk EP, the songs are pretty short, making this a little bit upwards of 10 minutes, I think around 11 minutes or so long. If you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for this?
Well, when I pre-ordered it, I got that and the T-shirt, and I think I paid, and don't quote me on it because I'm not fully sure, but I think like $35.
Yeah, and so if you're cool with paying $35 for 4 songs, and T-shirts, awesome, by the way.
Well, and a lot of band shirts are like $20 now, so
especially if you get them on their website.
25.
Yeah. So I guess I would recommend, if you don't care about the awesome artwork design, I'd recommend maybe getting it on iTunes. But if you've got to have it, which I understand, it's
like I do graphic design stuff, so like the design really drew me in. So
once again, right here, if I can get it there, perfect. So before we really forget, what do you think? Like, what would be your own overall rating on the music itself?
Like
we've really focused on the design.
Yeah.
We've kind of mentioned the music, but
like the first song I listened to because they gave it with you, and like the pre-order was Friday 13th. That one like really drew me in. I thought it was good. And I also thought they did a really great job on Nightmare on Elm Street, like getting that like movie stuff into the song.
Yeah, definitely.
So and the other 2 songs are really good too, but like I think the highlights are the Friday 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, definitely. I think really, it should be no surprise since it's the title track, but the really big draw is the song Friday the 13th. I believe it's like almost 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Is that correct? So that takes up about half of this EP. But it really is a good song. Fairly heavy. The lyrics for this all the way through, whether it's Friday the 13th, all the way through Mad Monster Party, are all very good. So Friday the 13th, it's a great song. I could definitely see him doing that live, hopefully.
I hope so.
Nightmare on Elm Street, another great song. Again, see him doing it live. Laser Eye, good song for sure. Definitely not, in my opinion, not their strongest one.
Yeah.
But I can't complain about it. It's good. I wouldn't call it filler, because a lot of times it's like, oh, it's just a filler song to make it a bigger album. I wouldn't call it that. I'd say it's better than that. But compared to the first two songs on this EP, it kind of pales.
And I think I'll have to do some research on it, maybe because those might have been movies that they really liked or something.
Yeah,
so that's why they chose them.
And Mad Monster Party, the last one. I don't know about Joe, but I personally listening to that song. That's going on my Halloween playlist.
Oh,
definitely. I want to say they even mention got the lyrics right here. They say something about Halloween somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe I misheard it. but
I was gonna say these are definitely good for Halloween playlists.
Yeah, definitely.
Easily.
Which anything by the Misfits really. Monster Mash. They got a stinking 2 songs called Halloween and then Halloween 2 that are just begging to be played.
Say their album with Famous Monsters has a good.
All the songs. Yeah. So I'd say that. Another thing about Mad Monster Party, kind of made it stand out a little bit for me compared to the other ones. It has a really rockabilly feel to it. Very fun. It really does feel like a Mad Monster Party.
Those are the only types of parties.
Yeah. Only kind of party. Anything else, garbage. But I'd give the this EP, I guess, if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it eight, maybe 8 Devil Locks.
Okay, I'll give it 4 out of 4 Freddy Claws. I would say 5, but you only have 4.
Yeah. And the only reason it's lower than like a 9 or a 10, again, it's so small that even though, like I said, Laser Eye, not a bad song, but it's not great, and so since there's only 4 songs, it kind of weighs it down. But again, the artwork, beautiful, the sound of it, good. Especially in my eyes, this is definitely a step in the right direction for the Misfits if they decide to continue on kind of splitting the original Misfits and Misfits. I definitely do want to see them continue in this kind of direction going forward with this other, Misfits, the resurrected Misfits as they called themselves in the 90s. What's what I'm looking for? And also, again, Jerry Only's voice, not the greatest ever, but definitely serviceable.
Yeah, I think it fits the songs really well.
Yeah, perfectly, really. And I think that's one of those things. I'm not sure. This is kind of a little bit of a rarity track by the Misfits, but they've got a track. I believe it's the very first studio track Jerry Only did with the Misfits. Well, lead with the Misfits. Was a song. It was a cover of a band called Balzac. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Balzac, and it's a song called "The Day the Earth Caught on Fire." I'm not sure. Have you heard that one by chance? It's a kind of a rarity.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think so.
I want to say they never actually. No, I believe that they released it on CD, but the way that pretty much everybody heard it that has heard it was they just put it on their MySpace. So if that tells you how long ago this was. And I remember hearing that, and I'm not sure. Again, keep calling you guys to the comment section. But if you've heard that song, give me your opinion on the vocals, because I personally love Jerry Only's vocals on that one. Very raw, very gritty, and that's something that I remember hearing that back in the day and being like, "Oh, this is great. Jerry Only is gonna be the greatest like singer for the Misfits." And then I'm a little bit let down, especially with The Devil's Rain. But this one, going up again from The Devil's Rain, which again, decent album, but this compared to that is very good in my opinion. So
yeah.
Got anything else?
So that should do it for the talk about the Friday 13th EP. But you can also check out a video where we review Crystal Pepsi, which will be in. I'll put a link in below to Lukey Solo's channel, so you'll get to see if we like this. I think you can kind of tell, but well, that's about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching,
Yeah,
and like, subscribe, comment, whatever to your heart's desire.
Put us on Instagram.
Yep.
if you're into that sort of thing. Do you have Instagram?
I do have an
You
Instagram.
do? Okay, I don't.
Like, a friend made it for me though. Like,
oh, okay.
So I'm still kind of trying to learn to use it.
I'm still on MySpace trying to get Tom to respond to me. Doesn't work out so well. Also, you can find me on RuneScape.
Ah, yes.
I'm only on it every once in a while when I go to the library, because
yeah, that's what the cool kids are doing now.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys.